I've made it this far, probably because the alliance I have. I mean, the four of us that are still left in the game have been in an alliance since day one. So it was me, both Michaela's and Alexa. And I mean, there were some nights where I was like, oh, maybe they're like talking behind my back. They're going to get rid of me, but they haven't so far. So I think the alliance is what got me this far.
Game plan going into the beginning of this was to kind of be social, get to know about everyone, be active in our group chats with the whole tribe, and just stay with like at first, like I said, I made an alliance with the four that are left in the game: Alexa, Carly, and Michaela K. So we were strong from the beginning, but then when we did the tribal swap, we tried to stay strong with the original. I think I was red. I forget what color. Yeah, the original red tribe. So it was like James, Amanda, me, and Michaela K. So we were like, let's stay strong. We have numbers against the original blues, so let's stay strong. If we have to go to council, let's vote out them. So kind of just staying with the original red, and then making it to the merge. I knew that I had to get more out there and get to know more people. And luckily, with some of my alliance members from the beginning, with Alexa and Carly K, we had hope for a little bit. And Michaela K was kind of close with Luke from last season. So towards the end, Michaela and I started working with Luke a little bit here and there. And we knew ultimately at the end that if Luke lost one of the immunity challenges at the end at last week's, that we knew we needed to vote him out and take that shot. Like we told him, we'll take you to the final three, but ultimately we texted each other and we were like, if we take him to the final three, there's no shot of us winning, because he won himself back in the game and then just kept trucking from there, and then won 2 immunities in a row, and then finally lost the last one, luckily. So then that's when we decided, yeah, it's time for him to go.
Michaela W., we said that, both of us definitely we're going to take each other to the final three. And then Michaela W. has a stronger alliance with Michaela K. than I do with Carly. So pending that Carly does not win immunity, we agreed of taking Michaela K. with us. And then if it would happen that Carly would win immunity, me and Michaela are still, going to be trying to make it to the final three. So then ultimately we would probably have to cut off the other Michaela.
Welcome, everybody, to the finale of season number 16 of Survivor Mac Edition. Hot off the presses of a 4th year in a row to win Program of the Year, we have, fittingly, 4 of you left. Michaela W., Michaela K., Alexa, Carly, are you ready for your final immunity challenge? Go ahead and pull out the envelope that is left. What you're going to find in there is an easy level 9x9 Sudoku grid. The first person to complete the Sudoku, you will send it to me in a text. Show me the completed puzzle. If you're correct, you'll win immunity. First one to get it right guarantees their spot in the final 3. 4 immunities, survivors ready and go. Michaela W. looks like she's sending a text. With that, Michaela W. wins immunity. This challenge is over. Michaela W. has won immunity and guarantees her spot in the final tribal council. Congratulations, Michaela W. As for Carly, Alexa, Michaela K., you have lasted 6 weeks in this season. Unfortunately for one of you, your time in the game is about to end and you will become the final member of the jury. Don't forget, there are no immunity idols this round. They ended at the final 5. Take a moment, strategize, and we'll get back here in a bit for the vote.
I felt pretty confident like the whole time the game has been going on, like with my alliances. Me and Michaela have been working pretty close together, so I think that the both of us will be, pretty tight in the last round. I don't know, honestly, because we'll probably talk and figure out what's gonna happen for the next time, and we'll strategize things. But I guess it'll all come down to the end, who we think should be voted out. Hers and my alliance is pretty good, and it's been good the whole time. So I'm not too worried about her turning her back on me, because we've talked through so much throughout the whole game. When the time comes, we'll think more about it and talk about it. But yeah, for right now, I think things are going pretty good. So I guess it all just depends on how the night goes.
For the vote to see who we're gonna eliminate, I think for myself personally, I think I need to reevaluate and see who I would have the better chance of winning against, or who someone if they've been like I did with Luke. You have to get maybe someone that is a strong competitor out now before you take them to the final three, and just think about who's on the jury and who made more connections with who on that jury. I think that's my go-to plan coming into this last week, is seeing that and maybe talking to my roommate a little bit, I guess. So ultimately, maybe she should be in the final three with me. So that third spot's maybe up in the air. Maybe I need to evaluate that and see between Carly and Michaela who I think have a better chance of winning the game again.
Michaela W., you are in the final three. You will make it to the end of the game. How does it feel as a first-time player in a historic season to make it as far as you can possibly go?
I mean, it's exciting. I'm just happy I got to play. I enjoyed it so much, and just to make it in the final three is kind of cool, I guess.
Is there anyone who feels like they're in the hot seat right now, like they do not have a shot at making it to the final? Carly is shaking her head. So, Carly, you think that it is you here. Can you give us any detail?
I just feel like it's me. And if it is, oh well.
Is there anything that you can do in this situation to talk with either of the Michaelas or Alexa to say, hey, I'm pretty much out. Some of these other people, if you go with them, you might not necessarily come out a winner. If you take me, you might be more likely to win. Is there anything like that that you can do? Or are you facing the end of the road here?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do.
Alexa, is there anyone in particular that you think it would be more beneficial or less beneficial to go with to make it to the end?
I don't really know. I think Michaela K has played before. I think she played last year, so that's kind of a worry. With her in the final three, just because she has experience as opposed to me being a first-time player. But yeah, I don't know. It could go anyway.
Michaela K, any concern or thoughts in response to that regarding you having played the game before?
I mean, I'm honestly just kind of hanging out. I don't know. I didn't make it this far last semester, but I guess this semester just went better, which is good. But I don't know. I'm excited to be here, but whatever happens, happens. So it's okay.
That seems to be the motto of the season with a lot of you. It's like, I'm here, I'm ready, but if it's me, it's me. Like, I'm all good. All right. It is time to vote. Take a selfie of your vote and send it my way, please. I'll read the votes. First vote, Carly. Alexa. One vote Carly. One vote Alexa. Carly. 2 votes Carly. 1 vote Alexa. 1 vote left. 16th person voted out in the 9th and final member of our jury. Carly. Carly, tribe has spoken.
I didn't really expect to make it this far, so making it this far has been really fun. I really didn't make any relationships with any of the other players other than the people in my alliance. I just feel like those girls like know each other more than they know. Like I didn't know them before this, so like I feel like they're closer. And I mean, I made it this far. I mean, I really didn't have a plan because I had no idea like how things were gonna go. I had a lot of fun playing.
I'm kind of excited, like shocked also that I made the final three. Didn't honestly think I would be here. I thought I'd have a huge target on my back, knowing that I had a roommate playing and also another fellow softball player. So there was three of us at the beginning. I thought maybe people would be smart enough to eliminate us at the beginning, but I guess they weren't. Maybe the connection never happened. But I'm also concerned a little bit, like backstabbing Hope. That might hurt a little bit. Turning on Luke, but I think Luke told me and Michaela K. We played a well game. It was a good move. You guys played well, but ultimately, I think my go-to push for why I deserve to win this Survivor game is I didn't see my name written once down during a tribal council, which is impressive. And I also had a lot of say in who was getting voted out week to week when I was in tribal. I tried not to push who I wanted out. I tried to give the opinions to the other people in the group, but I also kind of tried to sway their votes a little bit and like make them think about other people when they were trying to get weaker players out when we needed to get a bigger threat out. So I think that was something strategic. Hopefully they see like the game style I played. I didn't try to backstab as many people as some villains do on the show, but I'm confident. I'm not thinking I'm going to win, but I think I'll get some votes. So that's okay. If I get votes, that's all I want. I just don't want to go out with a big 0 in the final 3. I'm excited to see what happens. So hopefully I get some votes.
I just want to say I'm sorry, Carly. I loved playing with you, and ultimately it was just a decision to get myself the farthest in the game, but no hard feelings. I think my plan worked pretty well from the beginning, from being on two separate tribes. Me and Michaela W, Michaela K, and Carly all like talked to each other from the beginning and said that we were going to work together through this, try and get it all the way to the end, and we bounced ideas off of each other, and ultimately I guess it worked because we're the last 4 remaining. So I would say that our plan from the beginning pretty much worked out ideally for us. I don't really have too many concerns right now. I don't think that I have any enemies on the jury, really. I think I've kind of laid low all season, kind of hid behind other votes and just going with the majority. So I don't think I made too many enemies throughout it. I had a fun time in it. Obviously, with it being my first time playing, super surprised that I even made it this far, not really knowing how even the game worked. Like, I've never watched it on TV or anything. So surprised that I made it this far. Not really sure about winning it all, just because of, like I said earlier, where like I kind of laid low and haven't really like made any big moves or anything, which is what I feel like some of the jury people are going to be looking for with like the strategic play.
From the beginning, it's been like me and Michaela working together, and then like Alexa's been in there and Carly, and Luke also. We were also working with Luke at the same time, but it's mostly been me and Michaela. So I think just like her and I working together, strategizing, like splitting up the votes and like getting our other alliances to like help us out with that. I think that's kind of how like I was able to like work my way up to where I am now with the final 4. I don't know. I think it's just like good strategizing like throughout the whole game. At the start of it, I was like, oh, I don't really know like who I'm going to have an alliance with or what I'm going to do. But after talking to Michaela and a couple other people, I kind of figured it out. So it worked out pretty good. I think how I strategized like my plans this semester, like with the game and everything. It all worked out pretty good. So yeah, I think everything just went pretty smoothly. I was kind of surprised. I thought things were going to go a little more crazy, but it actually worked out pretty good. So I guess we strategized everything pretty well. I'm more excited than nervous because I'm like, made it this far. So I guess I would be nervous like when they start picking like, who should win and like all of that cool stuff. But I'm just overall really excited. I hope that, everything works out how I plan it to be. Or I made it so far, like I made it farther than I did the last game, which is pretty cool that I even made it far as I did last time. It's been really fun. I had a great time. So that's what really matters to me. Hopefully it works out in my favor, but I guess I'll find out.
Michaela K, Michaela W, Alexa, congratulations, you have made it to the final 3 and the final Tribal Council. As they say, the power of this game now shifts to the jury. There are 9 people on this jury that you either directly or indirectly had a hand in voting out, and in just a few moments, you will be making your case to the 9 of them to determine who ultimately is the most deserving to be the winner of this season. Jurors, you have a very important role here to play tonight. Alexa, gonna go ahead, turn things over to you. Go ahead and make your opening statement, please.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I had a really fun time playing. I think that I played this game pretty strategically, didn't really put myself out there too much in order to get a target on my back. I really didn't have any votes for me throughout the game until obviously this last round, and then the only other time was when I had my name attached to someone else. So I think I didn't really have that big of a target on my back through the whole time, which was my gameplay, and obviously it got me to where I am. So that's all I have to say.
Very good. Thank you, Lex. Michaela K, go ahead. Make your opening statement, please.
Hi guys. So I had a ton of fun playing this season. Last season I made it kind of far, but not like this far, obviously. But last season it was still really fun. I think this season I definitely was more like prepared and strategized better. Like I had really good alliances this semester with this game, and it all worked out pretty well. And during like the big twist of the game, I think that I just got kind of lucky with like who was my partner with that, which was pretty cool because I did want to get farther in the game this season, so that's pretty awesome. But I definitely think how I strategized and made alliances this season really helped me. And it was a big advantage because I think that's what got me this far in the season. But however it goes, I'm really excited to be here. I'm really happy that I made it this far. And it's just been a great season, so I'm just excited.
Thank you, Michaela K. Michaela W, go ahead.
First off, I'd like to say thank you, you guys. Making it virtually, we made it the most out of it, and I think it went well. Everyone had fun, I hope. I think for my gameplay was more of a social aspect of my game. I made alliances from the beginning, and I stuck with them, so I had to cut them off. But my one alliance kept strong the whole way through. With the twists, like I think I got lucky with my partner, as Michaela said, because obviously we're partners. But I won 2 challenges this year, and I think I won them at the times that we needed, saying I won it the last challenge just to make it in the final 3, and then I won the scavenger hunt. But I definitely have to say my alliances is what got me this far in the game.
All right, then let's get to the questioning. Mike, you are up first. Please go ahead and ask whatever you would like to the final 3.
All right. So, like, what do you think makes you guys stand out? Why do you think I should vote for you?
I think you should vote for me because from day one I sat here and I was like, let's start a group chat between me, Michaela K, Carly, and Alexa. And even whenever the tribes got split, Alexa and Carly were on one side, me and Michaela were on the other. And then when we came back for pre-merge, we came back and worked as an alliance and managed to get it to the final four. And I think I strategically planned, and it worked out in my favor, I guess.
I'd say I think that you should vote for me because I would say that I did strategize pretty well, like Michaela said. We all stuck together. We all worked together like throughout, the whole season. And I guess that how I chose who I would strategize with and keep an alliance with really helped me and gave me the advantage to make it this far in the game. So I think I definitely had a good plan of what to do and how to strategize everything and make it this far and keep myself in the game.
I think that you should vote for me because, like the other two said, I had a really good strategizing to this game. I kept with my 3 alliance, but then when we got split up, I was only with Carly. So that kind of forced me and Carly to branch out and try and make an alliance. I think which ultimately helped me post-merge to keep my name out of the votes.
Next up in the elimination order would have been Hope. Hope could not make it. Did a little bit of talking with her because obviously this is the most important night. Hope has already cast her vote for a winner. I have it written down. We will reveal it. We're moving on. Next up in the elimination order was Anne. Anne, go ahead. You're on the floor.
All right. So my question is mostly for Michaela W and Alexa. So you guys are roommates, and obviously the rest of us are playing alone. So why should we vote for either of you when it seems like you've worked as a team this entire time, when it should be the ultimate survivor?
I think that you guys should still vote for one of us because obviously throughout the whole game, you guys knew that we were roommates since Michaela's in the back of my camera. None of us got votes to like split us up. So ultimately, that wasn't our decision to stay together through the whole game. It was up to everybody else. And it just never happened where we got split up.
I think even like Lex said, I don't even think Aaron thought we were gonna make it this far because we talked when we had a Wednesday game and he was like, "We'll see how far it gets when we get there." Like, he's like, so we're like, yeah, we might not make it because we're roommates, but that put a bigger target on our backs. But even when we were split up, it's not like we were working together. We weren't together for the mirror challenge or twist, and we got divided in the switch for the tribes, and we didn't know who each other like. We weren't together, so obviously we didn't have each other there. And even during that time, I branched out and I talked to James and Amanda. We stayed strong red tribe from the beginning, and we eliminated people because we lost those challenges there. But I'd ultimately say like you guys had the chance to get us, but obviously didn't take that chance. So that's why I think you should vote for me or Lex.
Next up is Amanda. Amanda, go ahead.
All right, so this kind of goes on with Anne's question, but I'm going to ask Michaela K. How do you know, like, you can't really trust Michaela W and Alexa because they're roommates? Like, maybe they have some like secret plans behind you. Like, how did you manage to like have faith in them or like trust them and keep the alliance strong and everything?
Well, throughout the whole entire season, Michaela and I had a really tight alliance. Like, we were both pretty reassuring to one another, and like Lex, obviously too. Like, all 3 of us had an alliance, and we all worked together. But me and Michaela K worked closer, I'd say. So I don't know. Just the whole time, I felt pretty confident, just because of how we stuck through it together throughout the whole season and worked through, all the challenges together and like the votes and everything. Like, we just stuck with one another. So I guess that's kind of how I keep my confidence in the alliance, and that's how like I was able to work through everything and get this far.
Next up is James. James, go ahead.
So I was in alliance with you, Michaela W and Michaela K. So why do you think I should vote for you? Because you cut me off, like you said.
So I'd say you should vote for me just because, I mean, you saw how we all like worked close together and how we wanted to help one another. But so that could show like how good I strategized everything and worked with people to try and stay in the game. And so I guess that could kind of reflect how I've worked to like make it this far into the game. And so I think, I don't know, that was just the biggest advantage is how I strategized and kept my alliances close and everything.
I think I did what I needed to do when I needed to. We knew you had a target coming on your back after the mirror challenge, and the numbers weren't for us to keep you, but we knew like it was a huge decision for me and Michaela to make to turn against you. But we ultimately knew we didn't have the numbers and it was hard to cut you, but like we had to make the decision. But ultimately we tried to keep our alliance strong, but we kept tossing other names out there and no one was taking it. We were like, okay, we tried. Honestly, we did try. I'm sorry.
On my next question, Alexa, you said that you kind of tried to stay, you didn't want to be out there too much. So were you in any other alliances besides this one, or how many alliances were you in, or how much were you out there exactly?
Right. So obviously, I was in with both the Michaelas and Carly. When we had when we switched tribes, I stayed with Carly because obviously she was on the same tribe as me. But we also talked to Hope, so we kind of had Hope with us as well. And then after the merge, me and Jeremiah had talked a lot, kind of bouncing ideas back and forth. So I would say I was pretty well out there, to kind of keep my name out of the votes.
Next up is Jeremiah. Jeremiah, go ahead.
I ain't got too much of I ain't got like a big question, you feel me? But out of the two of y'all, out of Michaela W and Alexa, who do you feel like had more pull in the game? You know what I mean? In terms of y'all alliance, like, who had more power over the grand scheme of things? If that makes sense.
I wouldn't say that one of us had more than another, since obviously we were in the same alliance with Carly and the other Michaela. So we pretty much bounced ideas off of each other. And then obviously I was closer with Carly, where Michaela was closer with the other Michaela. So after we bounced ideas off of each other, we went to our second string, I guess you want to say.
Adding on to what Alexa said, I'd say we did have equal pool. And like she said, we each had one other type person with us. And I had Michaela K and she had Carly. And coming down to the last challenge, we both said if I win or if Lex won that last immunity, we would take the other partner. We agreed on that. But then ultimately, I was pushing to win that immunity challenge just to take Michaela K with me. I told her from the beginning we had a final 2 deal. So that's what I had to do. So Michaela would get there. And I think overall, like, I did Lex to go against her alliance. So ultimately, I don't know. I'd say maybe I have a little more power over Lex, but I stuck with Michaela K through it all more than that.
Oh, hey, Alexa, even though you shot me in the back of the head, you know what I mean? I still feel like you played it real smart. Like like you said, you weren't too, like people didn't vote for you too much. You played the game like in the shadows, you know what I mean? Like she just admitted she had more power over you, but ultimately I felt like you was out there more. You were like conversing with people more. So I don't know. Your strategy, you was more social with it. So I like that you did that, but you still remained like out of the vote. I still hate you though.
Thanks, Drew.
Lucy, take the floor.
I guess I really only have one question. So this season was, in my opinion, not like, other than some of the twists that you had for us, Aaron, like the mirror twist and stuff. I didn't find the season like super like exciting in a way, because like there was one idol played and it was by Luke, and like no one else played an idol. There was no like huge upsets in like in challenges, in my opinion. But like, what do you guys think that you did to make this season more exciting, like with the twists and things like that?
What did I do that made it more exciting? I guess I would have to say the biggest thing for me was when we had the mirror challenge. So obviously, like it was said before, James had a little bit more of a target on his back than I did. Like I tried to play through the shadows, like Jeremiah said. So I think for me, that was like my biggest like, oh crap point of the game, just because that was basically the only time I got votes. And I also didn't have an idol through the whole thing, so I had no shot of even saving myself if I knew that I was the one to go next.
I think I honestly had a really good time this season. To me, I guess personally, it was exciting just because I was more confident this season just because of my alliances and everything. And last season I was like brand new, so I didn't really know what to expect and how to properly strategize. But also, I don't know, I just had a really fun time with everyone and like creating these alliances and talking with everyone. And I actually had immunity idols this season, but I didn't use them because I was so confident in my alliance and it actually worked out pretty well. I wish I could have used one, I guess, and well, I don't want to say that, but like it would have been cool to use one because then, it would have been surprising to everyone being like, oh, she had one. But yeah, I just never had to use them, I felt like, because I felt like I was in a good position. So, but that was pretty exciting for me because last season I didn't have any immunity idols. So it was pretty cool to find those in the packages when I got them. But so I guess for me personally, it was definitely exciting. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I think like you said, Lucy, this season wasn't really exciting. I mean, I've watched Survivor multiple times on the television and we had a few twists, but it seemed like every vote went the same way. And I think that's because the four of us in the core alliance had people we were working with besides us four. So like for me and Michaela, we had James and Amanda, and it always seemed like who Alexa and Carly were voting for was also the same people James also wanted to be a target on too, or me and Michaela would try to talk him into that. And that was the same with Alexa going with either Jeremiah or Hope, talking to them. So I think we kind of made it less exciting, sorry. But like Michaela said, she didn't even have to use an immunity idol because votes were never casted against her. And for myself, votes were never casted against me. And even going into the mirror challenge, at first me and Michaela were like, okay, like if we have votes or we know people are coming after us, then we might want to use it. But no one even mentioned our names to anyone. And I think it's just that we had a core alliance that also had other alliances that helped us get this far, but also made the game less exciting.
Sorry. And Aaron, I'm not saying that it wasn't a fun season. Like I had a ton of fun. Like I'm not saying that it wasn't fun. Like it was super fun. Just like what Michaela said, like with the votes going one way, like you could see which way the votes were gonna go before we casted our votes almost every time. And like sometimes it's fun to see that and sometimes it's not. And this season just for me it was predictable. But I do want to put a little like plug in. So Jeremiah put one in for Alexa. I want to put one in for Michaela K. I think that she really kind of played a really strategic game and she made it this far. She was able to trust someone who is literally playing with her roommate right next to her. And I don't even know if I could do that. Like playing with my roommate, I don't know if like I could be on that side and still have everyone trust me. So the fact that she was able to trust someone in an alliance like that, I think that shows that she outwitted and outplayed a lot of us in this game. So I think she deserves our votes.
I'm not offended. You're good. Thank you, Lucy. Move right along. Luke, you're up.
This would be for mostly Alexa and Michaela. Obviously, both of you have enforced the fact that you two are some of the main reasons why you guys made it to the last four, because everybody that you voted out or had an alliance with are all here currently sitting in front of you. Clearly, yeah, you have major points set as to why we should vote for you, but why would you want to have an entire jury full of people that you all voted out, where somebody like Michaela Coel was very low-key about it and only voted out, I'd say probably a handful of these people here directly, I would say she didn't vote out that many. Obviously, she might have had a said, but what's some explanation there? Like how do you justify 9 of us that you almost all voted out trying to vote for you?
If you guys ever watch Survivor, you see you have some people that stay under the rug while you have the other ones that are making the moves and calling the shots. So that kind of comes down to you guys, who you want to win. Who do you want to win? The person that was sneaky about it, or the person that was kind of the leader of who was voting who out? And I think if that's who you want, someone that was calling the shots and someone that was maybe leading people to the votes or saying, hey, let's go this way, then that's when you vote for me and Lex, or me, hopefully. But honestly, I don't care who wins at this point. We all three played a well-rounded game, and we all played together, and I'm just glad we made it to this point, honestly.
Yeah, and I'll add, me and Michaela, obviously, I think, are seen as the most calling the shots out of our alliance, but there was also never a time where, like, Michaela K said, oh, we should go this way, like, she voted for the same people that me and Michaela voted for the entire way. Ours just might be a little more public, and hers might be a little more under the rug, but ultimately, the 3 of us voted the same people the entire way, so I don't think it's really would be fair to pinpoint one of us as like backstabbing any one of you more than the other.
Say I had won every challenge leading into the final 3. What would have the plan of been? If, say, just a couple random people voted out and I was part of the final 3, how would you have approached that then, instead of just voting Carly off as using her as your last vote?
Saying if you won, ultimately, like me and Michaela told you right after we voted you out, you played a great game. You got yourself back in, and you're an alumni. I think what would have been the turnaround for me is going into the final 3. I probably, like I told you, would have cut Lex off. If I had that, I would have took the big power move and cut her off right at the final 3, and took you, me, and Michaela all the way to the final 3. That would be my big move there.
With that, Lex, how does that make you feel that your own roommate was just willing to cut you just like that? You didn't even hesitate to say that right there. She was just like, nah, my roommate's done. Like,
I mean, ultimately, I probably would have been a little, pissed off, but I mean, it happens. If she had a stronger alliance with you two, then I can respect the fact that she was doing what she could to get to the final 3 and get the most votes. So I would have been mad, but respectfully.
lastly, just want to give a plug to Michaela Coel. Last year, I voted her out pretty quickly. Actually, I think I voted her out in the last 4, similar to how you guys did to Carly. So you definitely stepped up the game from last year. It's great seeing both pretty much 3 first-year players. Michaela's only played for 1 season, but 3 first-year players in the final 3. That's really cool. But a shout out to Michaela for making a comeback from last year after I really screwed her over. Sorry about that, but either way, yeah, just give her a quick shout out.
Last person left on the jury is Carly. Carly, go ahead.
I don't really have any questions for any of you guys, just because I played with you since night 1. I know what you all did, but I think we all worked really well together, and that's the reason we made it to the final night. But I think it's going to be really hard for me to pick, because you guys really never turned your back on me. And Alexa, I randomly just picked you to vote out. But, I mean, I don't know. You all did really well, so it's going to be hard for me to pick. But I want to say that if you're unsure who to vote for, I think that all 3 of them do deserve a vote, and no one really deserves a vote more than someone else. They all worked really hard throughout the season, so they're all really deserving.
At this time, I'm going to open this up to any juror. If there's anything else based on anything else that was said, if you have any other questions, or if you have anything else that you want to ask, now's the time to do that.
A question for Carly on the jury. How does it make you feel that you were the scapegoat? Number 4 is usually considered the scapegoat as somebody that gets carried the whole way just to be voted off at number 4.
I mean, I kind of expected it. Like Michaela and Alexa, they are roommates. I didn't know any of them before this, so I mean, I expected it, but I'm thankful that they were good to me up until this point.
I would like to add something to that. I wouldn't really consider Carly our scapegoat in the Final Four. Me and Michaela, obviously, we knew if one of us won, we were going to take the other one. But I think she mentioned this before. If she had won, she was closer with Michaela K. So we agreed to take Michaela K. And then, obviously, if it was turned around where I had won the immunity, we were going to take Carly just because I was closer with Carly. And then if one of those two won, we were just going to strategize the best with them to try and get ourselves in it. But I wouldn't give Carly the title as a scapegoat. I would just wanted to point that out.
To the three of y'all, why did y'all make Carly rush home just so y'all can vote her off? You know what I mean? She was coming straight home from work, tired, running up the stairs, and y'all vote her off. Crazy.
Hey, we didn't know who was going to win that immunity challenge. So we didn't know that we were voting off Carly before she even got here. So it was still up in the air until the challenge was already done.
See, I have a hard time believing that Carly was not a scapegoat because you all unanimously voted for Carly. So I don't know. It's a little hard for me to believe that.
Well, I can try and explain it again, but so me and Michaela, obviously, if one of us won, we were going to take the person that we were closest to. So since Michaela won, we decided to take Michaela K. Obviously, it was easy for Michaela K to swing her vote towards Carly just because of the close bond that they two had. So I feel like if the tables were turned and if I would have won it, I think it would have been a unanimous vote to vote Michaela K out because Carly would have totally agreed to vote Michaela K out to keep herself in it.
Also adding to that, I think you got to think of the fact, like Lex said, but Michaela K had the decision to vote who she wanted to vote out, and she asked me who I was voting out, and I said, and I never said our game plan between me and Alexa, but she had all the right power in her hands to vote out Alexa and make it a 2-2 vote and go into a tie. So that's also what you got to look at as well.
Michaela K, I can respect that you've gotten up to this point with Michaela W and Alexa, kind of their roommates. I can kind of respect that you kind of had that alliance the whole way through and you made it to that point because obviously there was a lot of twists and turns and alliances the whole way through, but it seemed like that remained pretty stable the whole way. So I wanted to give you some props for that.
Michaela W, go ahead. Please make your closing statement.
Okay, guys, like I said, it's been a great season. And like Lucy said, although it wasn't that exciting because of alliances that were made, I think you're all coming at me and Lex for being roommates, but you can't, with a show of hands, how many of you had one friend playing the game that you were tight with? Mostly everyone. So, and me and Lex knew previously that I'm not calling you out, Luke or Mike, but Luke and Mike are close. They're friends. We know that. We knew there were some friends in here. We got them out. But like being roommates should have made us a bigger target to you guys. And we managed to make it not a bigger target. And adding on top of that, we also had Grace playing, and she's a fellow softball player. So it should have been an even bigger target for us. There's 3 of us that you could have easily said we're working together from the beginning. And you guys could have known that. I think I played a well-rounded game. Not only did I just rely on Lex, because I couldn't just rely on Lex, because obviously we got split up. But like Michaela K said, I told Michaela K straight up, she's my number 1. I would have took her. I wanted to take her to the final 2, and that's why I fought so hard to win that Sudoku puzzle just so I could. Luke, like he said, I worked with Luke, and we got out the 2 players he wanted to get out. And I told Luke and Michaela, if Michaela and Luke, you decide like Lex is who you want to go, I'm fine with that. Like if you guys want to make that decision, but they never brought it up, other than because he had bigger targets he wanted to get out. So I think you just gotta review your thoughts on the roommate situation because we just played the game to have fun. It's not like we worked together the whole time through, other than because we both had number 1s that were different. She worked with Carly through the whole game, and I worked with Michaela through the whole game. And it's just lucky that from night 1 we all had a bond of the 4 of us. And James and Amanda, I work with you guys too as well. You know that. But that's all I have to say. Thanks, guys, for making this a good season, and hopefully I can persuade you to vote for me.
Well, I just wanted to say, I was there in Michaela and Alexa's alliance. So I guess how I knew, because a couple of you mentioned, how it was pretty cool, that I could, stay with them that long and not be, worried if they were going to turn on me. But I think, like Michaela mentioned, Alexa was working with Carly more closely and she was working with me. So I think that's how I was able to see that we were tight and we did have a tight alliance. So I wasn't really worried about anything. So I definitely would, lay off the pressure on the roommate thing because, they did make it this far and they worked through it. So I give props to them because they worked really hard also. But I just think overall it was a really great season. I had really good alliances. I worked hard to be here. I worked with my alliances and strategized pretty well. But it all worked out pretty good. So I'm glad to have worked with who I did. All my alliances have been pretty awesome. So good job to you guys. And yeah, it's just been a great time. So thank you guys.
I just want to kind of piggyback off of what Michaela W. said about the whole roommate thing. Like she said, a lot of people in here had someone going in that they knew they were going to work with as far as they could. Some of them were more obvious. Obviously, we kind of had an idea that Luke and Kate were probably going to be working together just because they did so well in previous seasons. So I don't really think it's kind of fair to put a target on us just for being roommates when there was obviously other people that were friends in the game. But other than that, I think I deserve my spot in the top 3. I think I played a strategic game to get myself here, not only keeping with my first alliance, but making others along the way to get here. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I had fun playing this season.
All right. Jury, you've gathered all your information. It is now time to vote. You are voting for a winner. You are writing down the name of the person that you want to see win this game. So the Michaelas, Lex, you want to see your name on this paper. Jury, go ahead at this time, take a selfie of your vote and send it my way, please. So here's what's at stake. For the winner, a $50 Visa card. They get their name written in glory in our stat book, as well as a nice little certificate to commemorate that they are the winner of this season. Second place will receive a $25 Visa card. Michaela K, Michaela W, Alexa, congratulations on making it this far. These are votes for a winner. You'll want to see your name. I'll read the votes. First vote, Alexa. Michaela K. Alexa. Michaela K. We're tied. 2 votes Alexa, 2 votes Michaela K. Alexa. Michaela K. We're tied again. 3 votes Alexa, 3 votes Michaela K. Michaela K. The winner of Survivor Mac Edition Season 16, Michaela K. Congratulations, Michaela K. You've outwitted, outplayed, and outlasted 16 other Mounties. Give me your reaction. How's it feel? You're the winner of this season.
I mean, it feels pretty great. I honestly was really not expecting me to win. I was like, okay, maybe I'll get second place, but if I don't win, it's okay. So honestly, I'm kind of surprised. Like, I mean, I was hoping I would win, but like I honestly thought that either Michaela or Alexa were going to because, you know, but I think that's pretty cool. So I'm excited, but thank you guys. That's very, very nice of you all. I appreciate being able to play with you guys, and this season's been really fun. But Michaela and Lexa, great game. I'm so glad I got to have, an alliance with you guys, and Carly too. You were there also, and like James, a couple other people, Luke, but you guys were all really awesome. So just thank you very much. That's awesome. But everyone did really good. So great season, guys. Awesome job.
Lexa, second place, 3 votes, not too shabby for a first-time player. Content, or now does it just get you wanting to win even more?
I'm obviously disappointed that I didn't win, but I'll content with second place. Honestly, it was about 3 more votes than I thought I was going to get the way the jury questions went. So I'm happy with it.
Michaela W., just because there were no votes doesn't mean you gave a valiant effort this season. Had a good try. Any thoughts?
I'm just glad I made the final 3. I thought I was going to get voted out night 1, so it's whatever.
I cannot thank you all enough for playing this game. I like doing this, and it's very rewarding knowing that people get into it and people have fun. Thank you all very much for a great season. That's a wrap on another season. So thank you all very much. Until next time, Tribe has spoken. Y'all have a good night.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning in all season long. It's been a crazy year, back-to-back seasons that we had to do all virtual, but it was fun nonetheless, and we are not done yet. We are in the process of planning our 17th season for the fall, so if you are a Mount student, don't hesitate, sign up. This past semester, Jeremiah, Michaela W., Alexa, Carly, James, Amanda, and they were all new players. They all had a great time. I know you will too. The game is so much more fun when we have a lot larger number of people playing. So I encourage you, please, be in contact with either me, Luke, Kate, somebody who has played before. They will lead you to what you need to know to sign up. It is a blast. And if that's not enough for you, take a look at that. Right there in front of you, 4 straight Program of the Year awards. We know what we're doing. We know how to put together a fun event. We just were named Program of the Year a couple weeks ago for the 4th straight year. So please sign up, check us out. It's a lot of fun. Thank you again for watching. And congratulations to Michaela K for winning our 16th season.
Yo, yo, yo.